What's up, you guys? Eric Zapp here with the Open Road Obsession, and today behind me we're checking out this amazing 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander XLE. And if you're on the market for a 7 or 8 seater SUV, then you're not going to want to miss this one. So let's jump right into it, guys. Come on. So let's go over the exterior. We'll take a look inside the cargo areas, and then we'll go over the engine specs and the different engine options available on all of the Grand Highlander different trim packages. You have this big, mean front end that is really, really pretty. Now you're gonna notice here, there's no actual LED headlights here. If you want the LEDs, you're gonna have to go for the limited or the platinum trim. But here in the XLE, you got these really nice, pretty headlights that look the same. And down here in the fog light area, there's actually no fog lights in the XLE. You want fog lights, you're gonna go for that limited or that platinum. It looks the exact same in the front. It's really pretty. This car in particular is finished in blueprint blue. It's a really nice color vehicle. Over here we got turning indicators on the mirrors, and we have keyless lock and unlock here. Very, very effective. And as we come around to the back here, you can really kind of see the size difference here. If you're coming from the Highlander or something of a 7 or 8 seat capacity and you want something even bigger, like you don't want to go to the Tahoe or the Sequoia, stuff of that size, but you want something huge, then you're going to cop to this here, the new 2024 Grand Highlander, which is the first model year. So it's very, very cool. You can see here on the back here, Grand Highlander, very mysteriously placed here just under the Toyota logo. To enter the back of the vehicle here, you just press a little button here in between the I and the G, and this powered hatch will open and close for you at the touch of a button. Please note though, at the XLE trim level, you don't have the underneath kick method to open the tailgate. You'll actually have to upgrade to the limited or platinum for that, but the XLE here is great for if you just want that size, that space, and you want to have some power with that new, all new 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, but you don't want to have to spend too much money and you're okay without the hybrid trims. So with that being said, you guys, let's take a look inside. All right, guys, here we are in the interior. We have this really nice, well-bolstered, comfortable seat here with 8-way power adjustable seats. You can go front, back here, up, down. You can go back and forth here for the back lumbar, as well as going forward and backwards here for your actual lumbar support here, right here near your thoracolumbar fascia here, your lower back. Very well-equipped seat. There's no massaging seats, but once you get up into the platinum, you can actually get a massaging seat and have a variety of other interior color options. Typically, you're going to find in a Toyota previous generation, older than this one, that's starting to look a little bit dated. But here in this Grand Highlander, they really stepped it up a notch, put in a lot of very soft touch plastics, and made it really rounded it off very well, and made it look much more high quality than you would find in the past. And something to note here is also this Grand Highlander starts an XLE trim, which is actually one of the first premium trims in the Toyota line of trims. Whereas if you go for the standard Highlander, it actually starts an LE, which is a very much lower base trim that doesn't come with a lot of the features that you would find here in the base XLE here in the Grand Highlander. So with that said, let's start on the left here and we're gonna work right. Let's go over all of this stuff in here. So left side over here, you got your typical window switches, your mirror adjustments. Down here, you can pop your hood, or you can also pop your gas, your fuel hatch there at the back by clicking this button here. Up above here, we have our automatic high beam headlight button. You have our heated steering wheel, as well as our power tailgate lift. You just kind of hold this power tailgate button and the tailgate will open, and hit it again and it will close. Now as you go up here, you have your trip reset meter over here, your odometer, trip meter, and on the steering wheel here, you just have some typical satellite navigation and tachometer controls over here, your volume up, down, voice command, and your various traction control options here. And then as we reach into the center stack here, you're faced with this big 12.3 inch infotainment screen that is very pretty, and it is a great display of all the functions that this car has to offer. Now you're gonna see here too in the XL, you have a heated seats, you have your various controls to control the climate control. You can control the front here and you can control the rear all separately. So essentially you have like a quad zone climate control, and you have ventilation all through the first all the way to the third row seats. So it's very, very economical. You can have everyone very comfortable. You got your push to start button here just to the left of the gear selector. You have a USB-C here and here. There's actually 3 USB-Cs here in the front and 7 total in the car, which is really significant. Over here to the right, you have another one of those USB-Cs, nice little cubby here. You got your typical decent sized glove box. Nothing too crazy, but it's all right. But that said, even though there's not too much space there, that's compensated by a ton of space here in the middle here. That is actually so deep, I can fit almost my whole arm down there, which is really nice. All the way down to my elbow, it's really deep. It's got a little tray in the middle too to separate your goods. Super cool. Now also here in the center, we have our different drive mode selections, our auto start, stop on and off, traction control on and off. You also have your parking brake here. This is a powered parking brake here. So as you stop, your parking brake can be set up to automatically engage. And then to set it off, you just hit your foot on the brake, click it down, and it will disengage. Now here on the gear selector, obviously this is an automatic car, but if you wanted to drive in manual mode, which probably none of you will, unless you're a little bit crazy like me, then you would take the gear selector and click it left. When you're in drive mode, that will give you your manual settings. That said though, here in the middle, you have eco mode, sport, normal, mud and sand mode, as well as rock and dirt, snow, and hill descent mode. There's plenty of different drive modes here to cater to any driving that you need to do in your vehicle, because this is a car that you're going to take in any conditions because it is suitable to embark on any condition. This thing is amazing on-road and off-road, as well as in the snow, even with the stock all-season tires, which is really cool. Another thing to note here, in the middle, you have 3 cup holders. You have 2 here, and then a really big, deep one over here too, that you can fit a really big, extra wide bottle that you wouldn't typically fit in a standard cup holder, which is really nice. You also have a wireless phone charger here. This comes stock with all Grand Highlander XLE models. And just note that everything that I'm showing you here is standard with the Grand Highlander XLE. The only thing different would be your transmission options, which in the US you have a various variety of front wheel drive options, where here in Canada we only have all-wheel drive available. As you look to the right here, obviously you got your USB-C, typical controls on the right side there, but overall, this is where the bulk of the action is. So let's just click some power here and let's go over this satellite navigation screen real quick. So here in the satellite navigation screen, this big 12.3-inch screen, you can see we have wireless Apple CarPlay already engaged. To get out of that, you can just click Toyota here, and it'll take you back to your typical Toyota screen that you would see if you weren't attached to your wireless CarPlay. Now to get into CarPlay, you just click this button here, or if you want to have your navigation that comes with the vehicle, you're going to have to sign up for Drive Connect, which costs about $9 to $12 per month to sign up after your first year subscription has ended after the vehicle purchase. Down beneath here, you have your audio controls here. You can connect to your Bluetooth. You don't actually have to use CarPlay to connect Bluetooth to play your music from your phone. You got your different phone options here, which kind of brings you back to CarPlay, which is kind of interesting. Down here, you have your climate control options, trip information, and vehicle alert system. Climate control, you can adjust it here, but typically you're going to want to just adjust it here with your nice old-fashioned buttons. Much easier to use, got a good visual. And down here, you just got your typical settings. So that's that. So on the tack here, you can see in the XLE, we have a digital display in the middle here, and on the right sides, we just have kind of an old school gas and a temperature gauge here. It kind of looks pretty interesting there, but at least we have a nice little digital display here in the middle. Now let's note, if you go for the limited or the platinum trim, you'll have a complete full digital display, which is really nice. And you can see here, if there's any doors open, you're actually going to see here a little Grand Highlander that shows which door is open, whether it be your driver's door or your tailgate right now, which is open, or so I can click this button, close that, and then that will disappear. And then that reveals your current total average fuel economy, which obviously is dictated by how you're driving. And you can see here I have 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Not sure what that is per miles per gallon, but we will post that in there. But you'll notice with this car, since it is a big car and this is the first generation of this 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, it's not the best on fuel economy, but when you buy a car like this, obviously you're not always expecting the best, but you want to save as much as you can because obviously the way the environment's going, that's just the way it is. Typically in a car, if you have your wipers, they can get stuck with the ice in the winter. So typically you raise the wipers up and let them stick in the air so that no ice accumulates. However, in the Grand Highlander, that won't be possible unless you put it in service mode. But the way around that is to just leave them down, and before you leave to take your drive in the winter, come over here and click this button here, which is your windshield wiper defrost button. It's going to take about 1 to 3 minutes, depending on how much ice there is, to defrost those wipers. But you click this button 1 to 3 minutes prior, that is going to clear up those wipers and you're going to be good to go. That being said, guys, let's hop into the second row and check out the cargo capacity back there. Back here in the Grand Highlander, you can see we have tons of space, tons and tons of space. It's really significant because with the Highlander to the Grand Highlander, all of the extra space that you have is actually between the second and the third rows, which is really good for your passengers, especially if you're going to be buying this car. You're probably going to be driving with family and you're going to be going on long road trips, so you want to be really comfortable. So to accommodate you to be the most comfortable, over here in the door, we have about 3 to 4 spots for some bottles of water or some little small cups. You also have a little cubby here. Not big enough to fit a cup, but you can kind of maybe fit a phone or something like that. Little cubby here as well, maybe another little phone, little piece of technology, something like that. You got obviously your window switch here, and you also have a manual sunshade here as well. Very, very effective. This kind of goes up and down very easily. Just kind of boom, boom. You got your different climate control settings here to kind of make you the most comfortable. You got your dome light here. You got an HS handle, very, very effective. And then over here in the back of the seats, obviously we have some good space here. Nice quality leather. The leather really has stepped up in quality here with these Toyotas, and this model year, it's really, really nice. You also have 2 USB-Cs here as well on either side of the center stack here. You got a 12 volt here down here, and then you have climate control settings for the rear here. And you're gonna notice here in the back here too, but there's actually no panoramic roof. If you want the panoramic roof, you're gonna have to upgrade to the limited or the platinum. And if there's only 2 people in the back here, you get a nice little center armrest and an additional 2 cup holders. So you get about 3 in each door and 2 here, totaling 8 cup, oh no. Yeah, 8 cup holders, damn, in just the second row alone. Wait till you see the back, and at the end, we'll do a total count of how many cup holders there actually is in here, and there is a ton, because this thing is made to haul around families, you guys. Heck yeah. To get into the third row, we just go back here, you just pull these little ropes, and you'll pull them right up with one pull. They're quite light. To change the incline, you got this little lever here on each side, pull that up, lift her back. Pull the headrest up, good to go. Got one over here too, pull it up, lift her back, headrest up, good to go. If you want to get into the third row, this is how you're going to do it. Over here, you got 3 little levers. You got one here to create the incline of the seat. You got another one here to just pop it all the way down flat, and then you got another one over here to be able to slide it forward so that you can get into the back. So this is how it looks. So you can see we have about just under a foot of space to actually hop in. So you just put your foot up here and go for it. And we're in. It's very easy in this Grand Highlander due to the added length. All right, so here in the back seat, there's a lot of room. You can see here, I have tons of room here. If this center stack seat here is an appropriate spot for people in the middle, as well as that'll create a really comfortable spot here for people in the third row. So Toyota actually made so much room back here that you have 33.3 inches of leg room back here. So it's really significant. You're very comfortable. Plus you got a good chunk of space in the back there to still fit all your luggage. Now over here on the left and on the right side, you have the same amenities. You got 3 cup holders, you have an iPad slot, a little phone slot, and a USB-C on each side. Up top here, you also have your climate control kind of vent here as well. And it's just a very comfortable place to be. And now when it comes time to actually get out of here, there's a little lever back here that will actually fold the seat completely down and push it forward so you can just hop out. So I'm gonna pull this lever up, it'll close down, and just give it a little push. And you can see, bingo, we got so much room. Now to get out, just friggin' open the door and just pop right out. Now on the topic of car seats, you can actually fit 3 car seats back here in the second row, and you can fit another car seat here in the third row as well. You can see here we have top tether attachments here. You got 3 along this row, and in the third row here, you have 1 top tether control. Actually, you know what? You actually have 2 top tethers here, but I don't think you're gonna wanna fit 2 car seats back here. It's gonna get quite tight. But that being said, you have actually 4 to 5 baby seat spots available. So the part that you've been waiting for, if you want this Grand Highlander and a normal Highlander, or you know, a normal 7-8 seater SUV just isn't enough, which is the cargo area. So back here, third row up, you got 20.6 cubic feet of space, very spacious. You can fit 2 strollers here and a tons of groceries from Costco on your weekend Costco run. Really cool. Now we put these down, we're gonna have 57.9 cubic feet of space, which is really significant, but wait until we got the second row down. That's when the big space comes out. So let's throw these down by clicking up this lever here, and we push it forward. The headrest will collapse automatically, and then bingo, you got your space. So here we have 57.9 cubic feet of space, tons of space, and you can kind of just get right in here and just hanging out. You got tons of space. Now let's throw the second row down, and then you're gonna see tons more space even, as if you could even get more, right? So we throw this down, do our 1, 2, 3 method, and you got, look at this, like, wow. Let me throw the other side down and then reveal the total. Oh, I'm back. We got this here, 1, 2, and 3, baby. And there we go, tons of space. So I can just hop right in here. I'm just sitting here chilling. You can see we got so much room. If I actually want to lay down here, you're gonna see if I got my head way here near the front here and I lay my legs out, I haven't even embarked to the spot behind the third row seat yet. So it just goes to show how much space there really is. And if you really wanted to, you know, go camping with a family and you wanted to just have a big road trip, you could legitimately throw a mattress back here as well as some supplies and comfortably fit 2 adults and maybe a child as well, which is really significant. Or if you just want to be a utilitarian person and you just want to go lug some furniture and you got some big items, you got to carry a bunch of totes, you can fit a ton of stuff in here because this has a cargo capacity of 97.5 cubic feet of space, which is like a small New York apartment, is it not? It's wild. All right, guys, let me show you something really cool here that's hidden underneath this little storage area here. Let's show you what's underneath this little hatch here. So you have a jack. Deep underneath here, you're gonna have your spare tire as well. You got your spare tire jack tools here as well. But what I'm gonna show you here quick is just this kind of defense mechanism for your groceries. So this comes with the XLE and all of the other models. You just kind of pull this out of here, pulls this up here, and this is going to cover your second, behind the second row all the way back here, and it's going to make it everything hidden from the outside looking in. So we just hop inside here. You take your right side, shove it inside of this little hole here on the right, and then over here you can see there's another hole. We just hit this button here, it'll extend as well on the right side. That will extend as well, and then it will be inside the slots on the right there, and then you can just take this here, pull it back and hook it around the edge, and you'll see here you have a cover for your groceries. So when you look in from the outside, you will no longer see what's hidden in there. Now the best part, in my opinion, the power. So to get under the hood, just lift it up here, and there's a little toggle here right in the middle just to the right of the Toyota logo. Just push that left, lift up. Here on the XLE, you just have a manual stand here. So just grab that, and you're limited in your Platinum. You'll have a hydraulic system there on the right to hold it up for you. This is a first generation 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. So under the hood here is a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. This is actually the first turbocharged engine that Toyota has put in a Highlander in quite a while. It's usually just a naturally aspirated V6 engine. So this 2.4 liter engine has 265 horsepower and 310 pound-foot of torque, which is super powerful, and it comes with a fuel economy of between 24 miles to the gallon on the highway and 21 in a city, with a combined of 23 miles to the gallon. You can expect to go 0 to 60, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.3 seconds here in this 2.4T Grand Highlander engine here. Now this engine here is also available in the Platinum, in the Platinum Hybrid Max trim. It's just the same engine but with a hybrid battery system. And as you move into the Limited, you have also a just standard hybrid, which is actually the one that has the best fuel economy, which is just a 2.5 liter hybrid engine, the best fuel economy. If you want the most fancy features, you're gonna have to go for the Platinum Max Hybrid, which has the same engine, hybrid system, which has 310 horsepower and 400 pound-foot of torque, which is a significant boost in power for that one. But you will be paying about 15 grand more for the Platinum Hybrid Max. However, if fuel economy is your main goal, then you're just gonna wanna go for the Limited Hybrid, which has a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter engine hybrid, which gets you between 33 miles to the gallon in the city, 36 on the highway, and 34 combined, which is the best fuel economy performer in the Grand Highlander lineup. We're from Canada. We only have the all-wheel drive option for the Grand Highlander available. All-wheel drive through the XLE, the Limited, and the Platinum. However, in the United States, you have a front-wheel drive option available for each trim package for the Grand Highlander here. With this 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, you actually have a 8-speed ACEN transmission that has been used through a lot of the Toyota cars, and it's been known to be very reliable. That said though, as soon as you hop into the hybrids, you're gonna be using a 6-speed CVT transmission. That's right, a CVT transmission, but rest assured, this isn't like a typical CVT that has issues with other manufacturers. This eCVT is the same engineered kind of transmission that Toyota has used with all of their hybrid cars all the way since the beginning hybrid vehicles that Toyota released way back in the early 2000s with the Toyota Prius. Rest assured, the eCVT is going to be plenty reliable. The only thing that you're going to be speculating about, if anything, would be this new engine. And that being said, guys, even though this is the first turbocharged engine that Toyota has produced in a very long time, from what I can experience while using this car, is the vehicle isn't going to push the engine harder than it thinks it's going to be able to handle. I think obviously we don't have any track record, any history, not at least much of how reliable this thing will be, but I think we're going to be okay because we're in good hands buying a Toyota. Now that said, I'm not a Toyota fanboy, but judging by their track record, we're good. In the front here, we have obviously an all-wheel drive system, but in the XLE model, it comes with an 18-inch rim. If you upgrade to the Limited or the Platinum, you have a 19 and a 20-inch rim available as well. All right, guys, here we are on an onboard drive. So before we embark on this drive, throw it in reverse here, you can see we got a nice big backup camera, 12.3-inch screen. Great, couldn't ask for more. So let's get to the juicy stuff and let's go for a rip. Over here we got various drive modes, and we're just gonna start on eco. So you're gonna find this thing drives much like a car, whereas if you're driving a 4Runner, it drives much more like a truck. In eco mode, your revs aren't gonna hang for as long, and you're not gonna be able to accumulate as much speed as quickly. That being said though, it's obviously eco mode. That's the way it is. You put it in sport mode, it's gonna hold the revs much longer, and you're gonna be able to accumulate much more speed, and it's gonna be more rev happy when you're driving in that scenario. So you're gonna see here, I'm stopping up here. As I press on the brakes, there's actually 2 red lights that come up, signifying that the brakes are engaged. If you are in cruise control mode and you have your cruise control on, you have your distance set between the car in front of you, it will actually press the brakes on its own. You won't actually have to press them. When it reaches your specified distance that you have set between the other vehicle, it will brake on its own all the way down to 0 and then bring you back up to your original speed, which is really cool here. So as we're driving here, I can put it in cruise control and match this guy's speed up here by just hitting the cruise control button over here. We're in adaptive cruise control. We'll hit resume. So we're resuming at the speed of 71 kilometers per hour. So we're gonna go up a little bit higher here to purposely catch up to this car, and then we'll try and engage the brakes on their own. So to show you that I don't actually have to press the brakes when we're in the cruise control setting. We're going 88 kilometers an hour here. We're gonna catch up to this car here. And right now it is slowly starting to get closer to that car here. And the cruise control is automatically adjusting accordingly. But nonetheless, guys, when you're driving here, it's a very buttery, smooth kind of driving, very sharp steering. It's not heavy steering, it's very light, and it goes right where you want to go. It's kind of what you would expect in just like a family car. You don't want anything too sporty, but you want something predictable that you know how it's going to handle. It's going to handle very easily. That said, guys, that concludes this video. So if you like this content, smash that like button for me and subscribe to this channel because we got a lot of really cool stuff coming. And if you want to know any more information about the Grand Highlander, shoot it in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. That said, guys, have a good one. Peace out.